Hi Pisces, welcome to Moonbeam's Messages. This is your collective finance reading. Now, as this is a collective reading, not everything will resonate, so please only take what resonates and leave what doesn't. If you don't find any messages in this for yourself, please check out your other placements where you're likely to find a message in there. You will find all of the other placements in the playlists, so feel free to check those out whenever you want. Okay, as always, these are timeless reads, so whenever it falls into your feed is likely to be when it is relevant for yourself. Let's get into it. So Spirit, can we get some cards, please, for Pisces for their current financial situation and how they can help, or what help is available, how they can help improve it. Can we get one more card, please, Spirit? Thank you. Okay, so your overall energy then, we do have the Two of Swords. Now, the Two of Swords is telling me that that you potentially are thinking over any investments that you've made. Now, that could be your time, your energy, your finances. So anything at all that could be, well, could contribute towards your income, your stability, your finances. So where I'm saying time, checking out your investments into work, any kind of educational investments that'll help you establish a new career, and also you've got your general investments, properties, stocks, shares, whatever. So this is very much suggesting to me that you are very much looking at what investments you've made and you're thinking them through quite a lot as well. Maybe decided on whether or not you've made them in the right place, whether you need to change them, but very much having that as your overall energy. Now, in your current situation, we have a Five of Swords in the reverse. This is telling me that you actually let other people influence your spending at the moment. So this could be that you may have made investments based on other people, whatever they're saying to you. You may have gone into a job because somebody else told you to go for it. Maybe you've had parents that have pushed you in a particular career direction. Maybe you've purchased a car or a house because a partner or children want to have cars, or that type of car or a house in that particular area. Very much looking at any kind of spending. Same as you could be looking at, holidays. Where have you invested your money for holidays? Was it something that you wanted, or did somebody else want to go to a particular place and then you've ended up paying? Very much letting other people influence your spending. Now, it could be something as simple as well as your everyday shopping habits. Maybe you've got people at home that expect you to purchase certain things and you're the person that shoulders most of the financial burden or all of it. We're very much letting other people influence you there. Let's get some clarification on that Five of Swords. Okay, so we've got the Three of Pentacles. This is very much suggesting to me that you find money quite stressful at the moment. You don't feel like you're stable. You don't feel like you've got many options. And you're not very happy either with it all. You're feeling quite stressed, quite anxious about having a lack of money. We do have a Nine of Cups. Now, that is very much suggesting that you do work very hard. And the money that you do have coming in does pay for your day-to-day needs. So you're not too worried about increasing your income, but you're potentially not very happy because you might not have much saved up, or you might not have much of a nest egg, or you just simply you may have wasted it a little bit. We also have a Hierophant in the reverse. Now, he's suggesting that you don't actually apply your money in the best ways. So maybe you're not letting your money work for itself. Maybe you are not looking at where your resources are going, and maybe you're just not maximizing the potential that's behind them. For instance, if you've got money in, I'll use this example in pretty much every finance read. If you've got money in a current bank account, it's doing you nothing. It's just sitting there waiting for you to spend it. If you move it to an interest account, I mean, even if it's only little money you're talking about, a couple of quid, eventually over time, you will accrue interest on it and it's working for you. It might be nothing, but it's more than what you would have got in a current account. So very much making sure that money is working for you. Now, it could also be maybe you overpay on your utilities and you've got a gigantic credit sitting in your utilities that you might not even use, So very much looking at that sort of thing. So having money available to you and having assets available to you that don't really do anything for you. So it could even be that with assets, you might have purchased something, maybe a car, but you don't even use it. Somebody else uses it, maybe a partner, maybe your children. So to you, it's useless. So why did you spend everything on a top-notch car, that you're never even going to enjoy? So very much that sort of thing. Now, obviously, letting your family have enjoyment out of something isn't something to sneeze at, You do have to provide for family at the end of the day, but it could have been something where you might not needed to have spent quite so much. So you could have just been influenced because they wanted something that was, top notch as such. Yeah. Now, in your challenge position, we have this 8 of Pentacles, and that's in the reverse. So the 8 of Pentacles is very much suggesting to me that you don't even get recognised for all the effort that you put in on your spending. So you're being very underappreciated. So whoever it is that you're spending money on doesn't appreciate it. It is suggesting as well that, or at least they don't show that they're appreciating it. It does suggest as well that at work, you may be being undervalued. Potentially you could be a really hard worker and it's not really being recognised. You're not getting any potential pay rises. Promotions might not be something that is going to come through. But yeah, very much suggesting to me that you're just not getting any recognition for all the hard work. And that is becoming a massive challenge for you. Because at the end of the day, we all need to be recognised for something when we're putting in a hard graft. Because if we're not, it's just, it puts you out of balance. Now, that 8 of Pentacles, we've got a Wheel of Fortune. And shockingly, the 8 of Pentacles is here again in the reverse. So very much, underpinning that whole not being appreciated for what you're doing. Now, that could be literally anything. I'm going to assume, though, it is potentially both your family and your workplace because it's come out twice. So very much feeling very underappreciated. Now, that wheel there, that wheel is telling me that, excuse me, that you do try and spread your investments, and that could be a bit of a challenge. So potentially you're having to try and spread your investments between several family members as well as yourself. Maybe you've got friends as well that you tend to spread it between. Now, these investments are your time, your energy, your money. So it could be your money. Maybe you've got multiple children and you've got to try and spread, you've got to spend equal amounts. Maybe it is just that you're spreading yourself out thin. Maybe you're working really hard. You could have 2 jobs. You could be just working a lot of overtime in one job, trying to make sure that people are happy and getting what they need. And you're just not getting the you're not getting the recognition for it. You're not getting any sort of recompense for your hard work. Nobody's thanking you. No one's giving you anything. You're not getting any extra money other than potential wage, normal wages. And to me, it looks as though it's building up on you. It could be quite stressful. So you need to be careful that you don't burn yourself out with that. We do have a Knight of Pentacles in the reverse as well. Now, he's telling me that you've not really got much of a plan at the moment, and that could be part of your issue. So normally when the Knight of Pentacles is in the upright, it's telling you that you've got a good plan, that your plan's really sound, and you're taking steps towards that plan. So in the reverse, I mean, you could have an absolute sound plan on how to improve your finances, but you're not taking the steps towards it. Maybe you don't know how to. The Knight of Pentacles can be somebody that gets very confused, but generally I say that they're aimless when they're in reverse because he doesn't know where to go. He doesn't know what to do. So very much suggesting to me that you may not know how to improve your situation. You may not know whether or not what you're doing is right. To me, it looks as though you feel stuck and you don't necessarily know how to get people to appreciate you, how to move forward, how to just improve your situation in general. Now, in what's available to help, we do have the Sun. So the Sun card is very much telling me that you are going to have the success that you want, and that prosperity, having that success, having that prosperity, the abundance that you're looking for, it is something that it comes with a lot of confidence and enthusiasm. And potentially being bold as well. So if it's something at work where you're not being appreciated, then talk to your manager, ask for a pay rise and say, look, I'm doing all this extra work and I just don't feel like I'm appreciated, because I can guarantee that, if you're feeling that, you're seeing people around you that are just cruising along and you're on the same wage, So going and speaking your mind. And if it's something where they won't give you a pay rise, just tell them you'll find somewhere else that will appreciate your talents and start looking for a new job. I know that's a really horrible thing to say, but it's sometimes you've got to do it. And when they realize what they're losing, that's when they will start offering you extra. Now, for some of you, obviously, if it's like family members that are underappreciating you for all the money and the hard work that you put in with them, especially providing for them, then this is telling me that you need to start having confidence in saying no, or tell them that if they don't start appreciating you, then you're not going to start you'll stop providing, especially if obviously your children are older. Adult children, after all, can learn to provide for themselves. They can get jobs. And then you got, the likes of partners, family members, friends, anybody that is old enough to get a job should be looking at providing for themselves. Why should you have to provide for them all the time? So very much having that confidence in saying no to people if you need to, but also having the confidence to stand your ground and, like I say, looking for alternative work if you have to. Now we have a Justice card that has come out in the reverse. The Justice card is telling me that sometimes you have to be careful with opportunities that do come towards you. You need to make sure that you are evaluating them to make sure they're not too risky, because obviously you don't want high risk. Obviously there's a lot about having confidence and being bold to get what you need, but do be careful with the risks that are involved. We have a Six of Pentacles in the reverse. This is telling me that you do need to continue being good, donating to any kind of good causes. Now, again, that could be your time, your energy, or your money. So any kind of good cause, make sure that you are still paying forward. And then we also have the Ten of Cups. So being mindful that other people feel good when you spend your money on them. So you could very well, if this is family and friends that you're ending up spending money on all the time, have that confidence to say, well, if you don't appreciate it, I'm not going to buy it. Then you're not going to be as happy as you are at the minute, are you? And making them aware of how much it is that you're doing, because they could from the look of it, they're just taking you for granted. And it looks like they're very much trying to, it might just be that they've got used to you providing for them all the time. And now they just think it's second nature. And now you're in a position where it looks like you might be struggling a little bit with trying to rein your finances in. You might not be getting anything out of it yourself. It doesn't look like your situation is going to improve while you've got so many people expecting you to provide for them. But here it's very much suggesting that you need to be bold and stand up for yourself. Take that action to say, no, this isn't fair. You need to be doing things yourself, standing up for yourself. You need to be, like I say, for a promotion or a pay rise, putting your position across to your manager or whoever it is that gives you pay rises to say why it is that you need one. And if not, like I say, look for an alternative. And I know that that is easier said than done, but you've also got the likes of going self-employed, finding a hobby or something that you like, being bold and confident about something you already have the skills for and cashing in on it. Now, if you take that help, your outcome, we have a King of Swords. Now, that King of Swords is currently coming out to the side. So the outcome is a little bit undecided, but it is suggesting that you should continue to take a tactical approach when finances are concerned, and that you need to keep high standards. Now, I've got a feeling that that tactical approach is something that you'll be learning from this. And that's potentially why it's on its side, because obviously depending on how much of the help and how well you learn your tactics where your income's concerned will depend on how successful it is. So obviously certain skills that you can pick up, soft skills, influencing, negotiating, they're going to be invaluable when it comes to getting what you want from your employer, potentially negotiating a pay rise. You could also potentially look at using those on family or friends if they're constantly expecting money from you. So very much suggesting that, you do learn some tactical skills and then making sure that you keep your standards up. So not letting it slip. Once you've started saying no and started expecting that, getting them to appreciate what you're doing, even if it's something like with your kids, saying to them, yeah, okay, I'll pay for your phone bill, but you've got to wash up every night. Get them to do their own chores. Or, you could even have kids that don't tidy their room and they still want everything bought for them, new game consoles, new whatever. But it's having the boldness to go, okay, well, I'll do that for you, but you need to do this for me, and get them on board, get them negotiate with them, because sometimes it does take negotiation, let's face it, and then sticking to it. Make sure that you keep those standards high. So if they don't follow through with what they've agreed, take it back and keep those standards up. Don't let them slip. And that is potentially the best way that you'll find towards abundance, because I can guarantee that there's a few people out there where your kids don't appreciate stuff. You're buying things and it gets broken and then you've got to replace it, especially the likes of tablets, phones and everything else. And it's not appreciated. And it doesn't matter how many times you replace it, how many times you get things fixed. They just expect and they expect. And sometimes it can be the same at work, You can do something, you can fix the situation. You can spend loads of time doing overtime without being paid for it, doing something really good for work, but that they don't fix the situation. So it happens again and they just expect you to cover it. So there's no appreciation there. So very much exactly the same sort of things, If it's something where you've done something, you've put your foot down and said, I'm not going to do it again. I'm not doing the overtime unless you're going to pay me for it. I want to feel the appreciation. And if crap happens and things at work start going down the pan, that's their fault. It's on them to fix it. It's not on you to fix it. So you need to make sure you're keeping your standards high, keeping those boundaries up. Now, we have a King of Pentacles to clarify that King of Swords. Now, this is telling me very much that you will be able to, that you're going to be providing stability. You're going to have a lot of stability. You're going to be able to, you're going to have the finances you want. We have the Two of Wands telling you that you do need to take a pause for a moment and actually look at what it is that you do want at the end of the day, because part of keeping your high standards and keeping that tactical approach in is knowing what it is that you want. So what do you want? What is your end game? We do have a 3 of Cups. Now that is suggesting that you don't treat others quite so much. It is suggesting that you can share, but be careful, because some people will just keep expecting. They will just expect you to give them what you want all the time, what they want all the time. So very much calm down on the sharing and being generous to other people, because while you may think you're doing something nice, sometimes they just start becoming reliant on it. And then we have the Empress as well. And now the Empress is very much going along with this 2 of Wands, telling you to look at your end game, set your goals, set your mini targets, how you're going to get there, and actually look and see what it is you want to do. What is it you want to achieve at the end of it? What is it you're saving up for? You know, is it something where you want to save and have a big lump sum ready for your kids to inherit? Is it something where you're saving for a house? Is it just something where you want to make sure that you're comfortable in retirement? Making sure that you've got that end goal and that you know how you're going to get to it. And that's what part of keeping these standards up high is all about. Because if you don't, you know, that end goal might not necessarily materialise quite in the way you want it to. Right, let's get you an Angel of Abundance card as well to see what other messages Spirit's got for you. So we've got Organise for Success. Sorry, I think I've turned the light up too much and it's reflecting off the card. Right, so do not let the word organise intimidate you, as it is simply a way for you to ensure clarity of purpose. Organising your thoughts, your reports, your living and your workspace and your finances will help you know and plan your next action steps. So very much having an idea of what it is, having your money organised so that you can make those final steps, or at least make the plan of what you want and how you're going to get there. Right, I hope you enjoyed your reading today, Pisces. If you did, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. If you haven't subscribed and you want to hear more from me, press that subscription button, and if you press the notification bell, it will let you know when I do post new content. Good luck, and thank you for joining me.